Are you looking for the best cameras for photography? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best cameras for photography on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Canon EOS Rebel T7 DSLR with 18 to 55mm lens. Amateur photographers looking for an affordable DSLR camera that offers decent still image resolution. Canon's compact and lightweight Rebel T7 is a textbook example of why it can still make sense to buy a single-lens reflex camera when there are so many superb mirrorless camera alternatives out there. This classic DSLR design is a slight evolution from the older, venerable, and now discontinued Rebel T6. For under $500, you get a great camera body and an all-around versatile 18 to 55mm lens, so you could go a long time before feeling the urge to add a telephoto lens, or other optional lenses, to your camera bag. The cheapest camera in Canon's DSLR stable, the T7 is aimed squarely at beginners. You won't find a fast burst mode. At best, you can only take 3 frames per second. The rear LCD monitor isn't a touch screen, nor does it pivot for unusual shooting angles, and there's no 4K video recording, it's 1080p only. But set aside the things the T7 can't do and you end up with an impressive DSLR that can teach any beginner the ins and outs of photography. It has Wi-Fi and NFC for transferring images to your smartphone, and the 9-point autofocus is fast and accurate. Number 2. Olympus Tough TG6. Outdoor adventurers who want to take a handheld point-and-shoot camera with them, but don't need the unique camera design and mounts offered by an action camera. Ruggedized cameras are a special subcategory of point-and-shoot models, and they're relatively rare. The Olympus Tough TG6 name tells you everything you need to know. It's shockproof, dustproof, crushproof, and even waterproof to a depth of 50 feet. If you're a snorkeler or a diver, you can use this camera without an underwater housing on shallow dives, which is an enormous convenience. If you thrive in the great outdoors, few point-and-shoot cameras are as well equipped for the rough and tumble as the TG6. The camera is a modest performer, though. The optical zoom is just 4x and you only get 12 megapixel resolution images, which is pretty small by modern standards. But the camera can shoot as fast as 20 frames per second and it records 4K video. Throw in the camera's many shooting modes and scene selections and you have a real workhorse for documenting adventures. This camera is great for taking photos or shooting video in locations you don't want to take your smartphone. However, depending on what and where you'll be shooting, you may be better off investing in one of the latest action cameras that's even more powerful, offers much better resolution, and is much more compact. Number 3. Nikon Z5. This is a well-equipped, mid-priced mirrorless camera that's suitable for photography enthusiasts and semi-professionals alike. You can spend a small fortune on a mirrorless camera, but the Nikon Z5 is proof you don't need to take out a second mortgage. This excellent camera looks and feels like a pro model. It's fully weather-sealed and sculpted from a rugged magnesium alloy frame. It has dual card slots because many photographers write to 2 memory cards simultaneously for security. Plus, the full-frame sensor can capture more light for better low-light photography. The camera also features an integrated 5-axis vibration reduction mechanism and a highly effective 273-point autofocus system. It can capture up to 4.5 frames per second of continuous shooting, and the ISO ranges from 100 to 102,400. Do you shoot video? If so, you'll be happy to know this camera can capture 4K at up to 30 frames per second. It also supports wireless image transfers using Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The price displayed is for the camera body only. Number 4. DJI Air 2S. Anyone who wants to pilot their own drone and be able to capture impressive aerial photography and videography. There are a lot of excellent quadcopter drones out there you can use to shoot video of scenic vistas and take selfies while you go rock climbing. Many of these drones, if not most, come from DJI. The DJI Air 2S is currently among the most advanced and affordable camera drones you can buy. Not only does it fold up compactly for travel, but it has a large 1-inch CMOS sensor that can shoot 4K video at 60 frames per second or even 5.4K at 30 frames per second. Additional features include the Air 2 SS HDR, low-light photography capabilities, and its ability to crisply capture video at night. It can also handle hyperlapse and panoramic shooting. And you can put all those camera capabilities to good use. The drone has AI-based flight modes, called master shots, in which it can employ any of 10 different maneuvers to smartly keep the subject in the center of the frame while flying autonomously. Another plus is that it's almost impossible to crash this drone, thanks to obstacle avoidance in all directions. Number 5. Sony ZV1. Best cameras for photography vloggers, YouTubers, and social media influencers looking for a well-rounded, premium-level, point-and-shoot camera will appreciate all that the best-selling ZV1 offers. Sony's ZV1 is just short of genius. While vlogging has exploded as a career choice in the last few years, there are surprisingly few cameras made expressly for this purpose. Many vloggers tend to make do with ordinary point-and-shoot or bulky DSLR cameras. If you're looking for a camera that's designed from the ground up with vlogging in mind, the Sony ZV1 is one of your few choices. Thank goodness it happens to be a great choice. This is why some of the world's most popular YouTubers and social media influencers now rely on this camera for their content creation. So what makes the ZV1 a vlogging camera? For starters, the articulating LCD monitor flips down to face front, so you can frame your shot easily while keeping on your mark. It also has a larger recording button, which might sound like a small thing, but is actually quite handy while shooting. Besides usability, the camera's latest software adds neat new features, like Product Showcase Mode. It's a great vlogging feature which disables face priority focusing and locks onto the product you're discussing. Available in a black or white casing, the camera also has improved audio recording that takes advantage of 3 microphones.